The one thing that the north of Wales and the south of Wales has in common, I believe, is a very strong community spirit. Whether you come from the valleys of South Wales or North Wales, there are still these incredibly tight-knit communities. And that is something that does unite this country. And when I travelled in the South Wales valleys, in the aftermath of the mining strike, I saw a lot of those communities coming under threat and being torn apart. And I felt that it was a very important time to write about Wales.
This is the locker I use, Michael. What time I was here?
You had that one from the start to the finish? How many years was that?
About 44, 45 years.
Well, Danny, I believe that Oakdale is the latest pit to close and cease production of coal in the South Wales valleys, but what is actually going on here today?
All that's going on now is salvage. The contractors are nearly salvaging it, which they say that they hope to finish it now, I think, by Christmas, and then the shafts will be filled in.
And what effect do you think that this will have on the community as a whole?
Well, it means a lot, especially to the younger men. I mean, they got no jobs to go to, because I understand the situation now. Speaking to some, they've been to Cardiff and Newport and places. They've been offered jobs, some £60 a week, some 80, and pay their own travelling expenses. Well, it's not on, you know.
So what do you feel the future holds for you living here in Oakdale?
Not a lot. I think we'll have to move away to get jobs in the future.
Do you resent the fact that you have to move away, or would you rather stay here?
I'd rather stay here. There's not a lot of future really in any of the jobs. It's just dead-end jobs around here now. Yeah, just all factory jobs, mate.
What would you like to see happen here in South Wales?
I don't know, something needs to be done now.
How long did you work down there?
Well, I was there 34 years.
Yeah?
And I worked about 5 years.
For us, over 50s, it's not so bad. With all the young boys that got married and got children and no jobs to go to. You know, we knew eventually the pit was going to close, but it's the dirty way that they closed it. Because, I mean, it was open on a Monday, it was closed on a Thursday.
72 hours.
And it was shocking the way they done it.
I mean, we come out with a good deal when we retired 3 years ago, but it's the youngsters now. They come out with a bad deal. Well, there's nothing here for the youngsters, is there? Nothing at all.
Well, whatever you put on from, they'll abuse it. There's no mistake about it. Well, I think they will, right? I know what it is here with a bloody disco.
Do you think the fact that young people in this area have had their livelihood taken away, there's no work for the young people around here?
That's a lot to do with it, yeah.
That's a lot to do with it, yeah. To be honest, I think that's a lot to do with it. The work is not about you for them. Not about it.
But the history of the village is gone.
It's gone now, yes.
Yes. All of the facts, they stopped the pit, they shut the pit, and incident. This sphere of the village for me is gone.
Yeah. It's dead. It's a dead village now. There's nothing here now. Nobody's got nothing.
Oh, what can you give me? Say the sad bells of Grundy. Is there hope for the future? Cry the crown bells of Merthyr. Who made the mine owner? Say the black bells of Rhondda. And Rudolph the miner, cry the grim bells of Blyna. They will plunder willy-nilly, say the bells of Caerphilly. They have fangs, they have teeth, shout the loud bells of Leith. The south things are southern, say the pink bells of Brecon.
toured with Bob Dylan for about 3 months across America, coast to coast, and it was a definite high point for us all as musicians. And he was really interested in the Alarm and our Welsh background, and he was would always come out to hear us play the Bells of Rumney when we played it in the shows, and we got talking to him a lot. He's a very private man, and he tends to protect the close people around him, because wherever he goes, chaos ensues. It was a very daunting experience to walk out on the stage and be called up to the mic by Dylan himself to sing with him. And I approached the microphone and he was still on it, and it was like he was there and I was there. And usually he'd been up on the wall for half my life. It was a very strange experience, as if he'd just climbed down off the poster and stood next to me. And it sort of raised a lot of mixed emotions that here was Mike Peters, born in Prestatyn, North Wales, with a small town upbringing, stood alongside somebody who's been revered throughout his life, throughout the whole world that's heard of pop music. And I still don't know to this day what it really means to me. I hope I can get some kind of perspective on it, and maybe it's the sort of thing that will really come home to me when I meet my children, when I'm bringing up my children, and one of them comes in one day and says, well, who's this Bob Dylan, Dad? It's very moving to be on stage and see the response that people get from the music and the emotion that does come out through their reaction. And it's hard to not be moved by that on the stage. When we're on tour, and an Alarm tour usually means a long, long time. We are a touring band in the tradition of bands. We do play a lot of places, and we try to get into the heartlands of the countries that we play, as well as just the major cities. And that does put an incredible pressure on the band. Being away from home and being away from my wife is very hard, especially when it's for long periods of time. And Julie, my wife, does have her own life to lead. She's currently teaching in Bangor and Normal. That does put a difficulty for us both to be away from each other. We love each other very much, and we spend every minute that we have in each other's company without there being any tension whatsoever. We can never get enough time together. I feel a spiritual moving deep within me. I felt that calling at a certain age in my life when everything was changing around me. I was asking an awful lot of questions. I was asking questions of religion, of politics, of myself, of my home, of where I come from, my country. And that led me to finding a belief in God. And that is something that I draw a lot of strength from and keeps me going on a day-to-day basis. I draw an incredible strength from the relationship that I have with my wife, and the true relationship that we have together. And but I'm not one to preach. I don't want to lead people in a direction that they might not want to go. What I try to do is make people aware and ask people to ask questions themselves and draw their own conclusions. And I believe that people who do ask questions will find answers, and those who seek will find.